All right, here we are again in Rittman, Ohio. My brother Curtis there, get that all set up. And if you're listening to the podcast, we have our Cleveland Indians garb on. If you're listening to the podcast, we're going up to the game today. This is actually June 12th, but this is going to come out later than that. But it's June 12th. We're going to see the Tribe versus the Mariners. So might see a bunch of stiffs play, but it's still really fun to see them throw 95 miles an hour. We've got pretty close seats. So, all right, we're going to open up the 1978 Topps. Here's the Christmas rack pack, just like the last episode. Remember, if you get a regular rack pack, they're going to be way more expensive. But like I was saying in the podcast, there's a Topps rookie. That means usually this is the second year of the guy. Like they'll have a rookie card, and then he played so well, they'll make a second year as his Topps All-Star rookie card with the cup. But sometimes it's a rookie. You just have to kind of look that up and make sure. I'm not sure about bump wheels, but so there's the front, there's the back. We're going to talk about something on the back here in a second that we'll talk about. But I'm going to open this up, see if I can do it better than last episode. It took me forever to get the first one out. But
sometimes they put those all-star rookies on there because they missed them last year. They didn't predict them being as good as they turned out to be. And
they want to make it special kind of for them. All right, so here's our first card. Jim Mason. He is from around the Mason-Dixon line. Just kidding. That's a teacher joke. See. All right, so I didn't really describe the card, in the beginning of the podcast, but go to YouTube if you want to see that. But the description, they had the cursive writing. That's what always makes me think of 1978 Topps, the cursive writing of the Rangers. They're the team. And then his name's down there. Then the position is up in the top in the little baseball. And then on the back was like a kind of a mustard yellow, orangish, and then blue type. And they had this little thing right here that Curtis and I can remember. It says, play ball, played by two. And this one is a home run. So Curtis and I, we'd play tennis ball in our backyard. And he was better than I was, so he'd throw real slow to me so I could drop bombs.
He's only saying that because I'm older than him.
But we'd have these cards out there, and then we'd flip them over and say, okay, what'd you get? You got a home run. Then I think we just pitched and tried to hit a home run or something. It wasn't like we actually used it all the time, but it was cool to see that. And we did some kind of game. I can't remember exactly. If you can tell me, but it kind of just was, you saw, it's a home run, awesome.
Sometimes when we were inside and we couldn't be outside, we'd get those out, and of course I probably cheated and stacked the deck, but we would, you dealt them out like a card deck, and then you started, okay, you're up first, and you flipped it over, and I got a home run, so I scored a run.
You could just play it inside that way, yeah. That's probably what we did too.
We made up our, we made up our own rules a lot of times, but. So here's, I'm showing you the next one. This guy's Randy Elliott. Okay, but here's another one. So this one says, so Curtis would say, oh, hey, I got the home run. And then he'd put in my deck, hey, you struck out. Right.
Just because I was young and he was going to beat me no matter what.
It's probably the other way around because I always let him
win. Kurt treated me really well.
I felt bad for him because he was just a little guy.
I was just a little guy. Now
he's
I'm
my little brother,
bigger.
but he's not littler than me anymore.
Wilbur Wood. So also on the back, again, it had their complete Major League record. Look at all those years Wilbur Wood pitched. And it's got the play ball game, and I think on one of those other cards, it tells a little tidbit about them on the bottom too. But this guy played so many years that you couldn't put anything else about it because he played for like 18 years or something. So they tried to fit something about him if there was room, and they didn't play that long. So it's got all their Major League and minor league statistics. Here's Dave Rader. Huh. All right, let's get to the next little part of the rack. That was the first one. How many did we say around here? 12, right?
12, yeah.
12. So you could see 6 of them and not see 6 of them.
I can see something that they probably don't let them do anymore on this next one.
More on?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's so hard to do. So we got these together. I'm trying to show you, but don't be too harsh to me if I'm, trying not to get these corners messed up. It's so hard to get them out of there. Okay, so this is a what do you call him? A manager.
Manager, throwback to when he played also. And
yeah, that's cool. So he's a manager of the Rangers.
Look at that big chaw there.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
You know what I mean? In this day and age of political correctness, they probably wouldn't put one in like that.
Yeah, they wouldn't want that picture on there. And pretty soon they won't have that right there. Look. got Chief Wahoo.
Yeah.
I have that on my shirt, but that's not going to be there anymore at the Cleveland Indian Stadium.
I'm wearing the politically correct one.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I guess he's there, but he's kind of blank.
Yeah, sorry. I'll get rid of it later. Okay, so we got Billy Hunter, manager. We got, I heard of him before, Barry Bonnell.
Yeah.
These cards are in good shape. Man, look at the sharp corners. I can't believe that. It's crazy. Willie Montanez? Montagna? Montanez? I've never heard of him before.
I don't know about Willie.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
And then Matt Alexander. Can say that one. Look at those unis. Sweet. Age uniforms.
Right.
70s are the best. All right, we got one more little part of the rack here. Cut through there. So hard to get to. Everybody, try to keep talking here, but I know when you're on the podcast listening as I'm opening, if it takes me a while, it's like there's a lot of silence there. Sorry. All right, now this is the Topps All-Star rookie we were talking about before. There's a little cup there, so I'm looking on the back of his card, and it shows Pittsfield and Sacramento, and then 1 year with the Rangers.
Yeah.
So the Pittsfield and Sacramento were minor league, and then the Rangers was his first year he played, and it doesn't look like he had. No, he did. He played a full year. He had 541 at bats. So this could be his first card, because he only had one year that he played. Most of the time they'll have 1 year that they played in the pros, and then they'll have a card the next year. Now these days, if you get a 2021 or 20 pack, it's different. This is usually most of the time, almost every time, not always, but that'll be most of the time. That's on their second year. Like Aaron Judge has cards that say RC for rookie, and then that one will be his second year because he hit 50 home runs, and then he was a Topps All-Star rookie.
That guy there stole bases a little bit. I
Bump
remember
rules.
him. He was kind of a speedster.
And they didn't even keep that
They
on
didn't,
there.
they didn't
They didn't
show
put
that
that
a lot
on there.
because
That's crazy.
it didn't mean much.
Hey, looky there. Ken Brett was whose brother?
George
Brett. He kind of looks like
They
him,
look
doesn't he?
alike, yeah.
So Ken was he's a pitcher, right? Yeah, he's a pitcher.
He was okay.
He's a pretty good player.
He wasn't like George Brett, but I mean,
Not a Hall of Famer, but Lee Lacy. I've heard of these guys. That's good. They put some guys that I've heard of. Lee Lacy. Craig, not Goose. Swan. Craig Swan.
lefty pitcher.
Lefty pitcher.
Yeah.
All right, so that was our 1978 pack. And so, while we're getting ready to do the 79 pack, let's pull the name. I forgot.
Tell
Down
them
here.
that we didn't get Mike Tyson's card.
Yeah, there's a Mike Tyson card. We were looking at that earlier in the checklist. And it wasn't Mike Tyson. It was actual Mike Tyson, the baseball player. All right, so here's the pull. Paul Volbert. And like if you've gotten your name pulled, it might be just going through the cycle again, and I just always keep the names in there. I try to get it to somebody that hasn't had it, but just never know if it's going to come the same person. It just depends on how many comments you put in. So Paul Volbert, I'll get a hold of you, and you'll get these cards. These so far you're going to get. I'm going to send you all these because there's not any stars in there. But if I get like an Ozzie Smith rookie, you're not going to get that. I'm going to keep that. And then I'll send you some other wax packs. So let's open this one up. I'm thinking if you maybe go through that, it just was easier that way. Can't. It's just so hard to. They make it so close so you can't get into the pack, which is a good thing, but I just don't want to ruin the card. Kurt would be too nervous.
I used to grab those when I was a kid if I had one like that and just rip them
Rip
apart.
it out,
and
yeah.
bend
Bend it, yeah.
the cards and stuff because you didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know if you. Hey, it's going to be a 10
I just wanted
someday.
to read the backs of this stuff,
So different.
Like I checked off stuff on those.
Yeah, I was looking through Curtis's cards. He's got a bunch of cards he's been holding out on me here at his house, and I was looking through it. I found a Bob McAdoo rookie, which you can sell that just as it is for like $50. It was cool. He had some basketball cards. And then I saw a checklist that he had them all checked off, a bunch of them. I'm like, you dummy, why'd you write on it? But he didn't know that then. He was trying to build the set.
I was trying to build my own set, and I didn't know what
That's
I had.
what you're supposed to do, So we got the checklist. That checklist is in an immaculate condition.
Yeah,
I mean, it really
cut and
is. Look at
everything.
that. And obviously they don't have. They're not checked off, but man, it's pretty centered. You don't see that very much. So there's a checklist. Those are just so classic. Look at that. That's really cool. You're going to get a good one there, Mr. Volbert. Ooh, look at that. Rich Dower. I've heard of him. He's a good player.
He's pretty good.
Good
Like
second baseman.
I think, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you the back of these cards. I'm sorry. Bill Madlock. He had a good
He
career.
was a very good player.
Really good player. I remember him on the Pirates, right?
Yep.
Because I was just younger. I don't even remember him on the Giants. But okay, I'll show you the front and the back. So on the bottom of this, you had a little flag, and it had their position. name, and then that T in the tops, man, that's classic. Some of them have it, some don't. This year they have that, but that's that classic tops T design in the baseball. Nothing on the top of that one, just a picture. And then the back was gray and green. A lot of times I just know baseball cards and can tell by the back of it what year it is. But
how about what we used to do to Dad? Guess how much Bill Madlock weighs?
Yeah.
Or how tall he is.
And guess what he'd say?
That?
Yeah, and he'd say, "Stop asking me questions,
Right.
Stupid questions." So again, you got complete Major League batting record. It's got a baseball dates. What happened on this day, June 9th, 1949, and then it's like, okay, you can't just read it, so you have to do it upside down to see the answer. They have it like upside down the opposite way, like so you couldn't see cheat. It. A's pitcher Dick Fowler was credited with 7 putouts in a 12-inning game. So that was just some stat they put on there to take up space, I guess. And then a little bit about Bill Madlock is there, something that he did. Got 6 hits in a 10-inning game. Wow, just if you did that one time, 6 hits in a game in the pros, that's pretty amazing. So
he was a very good player.
He's a good player. Hitter. Bill Madlock. Next one, Greg Minton.
I do not remember.
Man, look at that. Oh, I thought it was all Giants. Just 2 Giants. But
I did not remember him.
I was going to say Mitten. That's Minton. I wonder what happened that day. I can't go through all those. It'd take too long. All right, next one. Ooh, we got a great one on the top of these. I didn't show you this first. Look on the top of there. Jack Morris. So remember, 78 was his rookie. Right. So this is a second-year card. A lot of times, second-year cards will command a premium if they're in decent shape too. Now it's just not rip old Jack. Jack the Ripper.
I remember watching him and Mark the Bird Fidrich.
Oh man, that was a strange
Quirky
cat,
dude, man.
He had some good years. The Bird.
He hurt himself.
Is that what happened?
Kind of disappeared after he got hurt.
Yeah, it happens to a lot of them. So you got to have something to do after baseball, right?
Yeah.
Sir, come on, get that Jack out of there. All right. Sometimes ones on the top get the worst because they're getting beat up on the top.
Off-centered too, huh?
Yeah, look how off-centered that one is. But man, that's a cool card though. Jack Morris, man, is he Hall of Famer? He is, isn't he?
I think
or he's close. I can't remember. They say you have to have like 300 wins almost to get in. I'm thinking he is, though.
I think he has 300 wins. I don't know, though. Somebody correct us.
Yeah, correct us. Tell us. Jack Morris. I know we can look it up, but we're not going to do it right now. Jack Morris, good card. Jerry Augustine. I used to live on Augustine Street. Jerry, big Jerbo. Oh, look at this. I like talking about this guy. Tug McGraw. It's a really cool story. That's Tim McGraw's dad. Yeah. And Tim McGraw didn't know this was his dad till he was, you could look it up, maybe 16 or 17, and he ended up later in his life. And Tug McGraw died of cancer.
And look.
And
he's got the big chaw.
Yeah, he's got the big chaw, and he looks like Tim McGraw to me, you know. But it's like, yeah, that's my dad. You can look at him and tell. But his mom did. It was his mom just, didn't tell him. It was just a time that I don't know if you want to call it a one-night stand or what, but, they had a kid and she just didn't want to bother Tug with it, and Tug didn't know. It wasn't like he knew he had a kid. He didn't know. So he found out later and they ended up having a great relationship towards the end of his life. And it's just a pretty cool story.
He was talk about a quirky guy on the mound. He's quirky on the mound. But man, he was
good.
A closer at one time.
He's a really good pitcher.
Pretty
before they really had the big closer
didn't really
thing.
Talk about saves that much.
Bob Baylor. I've heard of Bob Baylor. Wasn't great, but all right.
Getting him confused with Don.
No, not Don. He got hit by
really
pitches constantly, right?
Yeah.
It's probably still has the most. Ooh, I like this card too. These are awesome.
Some of those were I know they're
Kurt's
probably not
favorites.
worth anything, but some of those were my favorite.
Well, this one
cards.
has Nolan Ryan on it. Yeah. So there's so many people love Nolan Ryan.
So cool.
All right.
Like sometimes you get, one of the old guys would be on there too,
Yeah.
Like
here.
Old guy on that one, yeah.
And this is what Curtis is talking about. So when we said the all-time record holders were in the set, and that's in really good shape. It's a little off-center, but man, it's got nice corners. Wow. So you have Nolan Ryan and you have Walter Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's the all-time record holders in strikeouts for a season. At this point, Nolan Ryan had 383 strikeouts that year. That's amazing. And he beat it by 1. The second one, it says on the back, and it shows you. The second one was Sandy Koufax, 382, and Koufax was amazing. My dad talks about him quite a bit. And then the highest career totals as a pitcher at this point, and then, Nolan Ryan ended up beating this, but Walter Johnson had 3,508, and then I think Randy Johnson had more than 5,000, because I think Nolan Ryan had over 5,000, and then Randy Johnson overtook him. But man, 383 strikeouts in 1 year. That's crazy. Almost 400. We got Bob Randall. Can't say much about him.
Don't know anything about Bob.
Ed Glenn.
Yeah, me either.
Two first names.
He has two first names. That's
Ed
about
Glenn.
it.
Glenn Ed. Ed Glenn. Hey, I remember this guy.
That guy, he stole some bases.
Yeah, Omar Marino was fast.
In fact,
Omar
he might have
Marino.
been didn't I
League
just
leader,
read
maybe?
that he was the league leader in that year?
He might have
maybe?
been. Not sure.
Yeah, he led the league the previous year, 1978, in stolen bases.
So he would have one of those cards that says
so
he was
he's
a league
on
leader.
Number 4 of this pack is him and Ron LaFleur for the league leader.
He's not on the floor. He's right on
Ron
the floor.
LaFleur.
So that was the last card. So Paul Volbert, you'll get the 78 and 79 Topps cards. Thanks for commenting or tweeting or whatever you did. We're going to appreciate you watching on YouTube. So we're going to go finish the end of the podcast and appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for more as the weeks come.